Welcome to What the Flicks review of The Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 11, Claimed. And we're all smiling because we're the luckiest men and women in the world.
Yes!
Yes! So we had...
It's a bold statement for a redhead, by the way.
Yeah, you could be happy. Anyway, on this episode, we caught up with Abraham, Rosita, Eugene, Glenn, who is now awake, and Tara, and also followed Michonne and Carl on their adventure into Michonne's heart. And Rick had some of the most suspenseful scenes in a while in this episode, I think.
Yeah. So why don't we go to the biggest critic usually? What do you think?
Get it out.
So here's the thing, guys. This I've concluded that this is like a soap opera, like a daytime soap opera, in that you don't have to tune in every time. You can just check in. It's pretty much the same stuff happening. And, you know, you can use context clues to figure out what you missed. There are a lot of shows on TV where you have to watch every episode. This is not one of them.
It is a slow show.
I think that would have been true of the previous seasons when they were in a static location for a long period of time. But we're finally at a point where they are transitioned. They're going somewhere from episode to episode. So I think if at any point you were going to watch every episode in a row since
right
the first
now.
season, it's now. And especially because this was the best episode they've had for a while.
So I did enjoy certain parts of this episode. I can't say that I didn't. I enjoyed.
As much as it pains you.
As much as it pains me, I
it.
did like, some of us were talking beforehand, the suspenseful scene where Rick is in the house alone. He has been recovering ever since he's kind of recovering post-prison, really. As we all have scars after we've been to prison, but his are very physical. We thought he was dead. He's coming around now, and so he's alone as foraging is happening with Michonne and Carl, and there is a fight in a room he's in, and he's been hiding under the bed. I enjoyed that scene.
That was a pretty good scene. It's not the sort of thing you could do every episode, but that was one of the most exciting things they've had in a while. The entire, not just under the bed, but as he's moving from room to room.
Yes.
Like, I don't see how they could have possibly not heard him strangle to death that guy, because they were falling all over the place. But other than that, very good extended scene.
Best thing about that, I don't know if you caught it, I missed it the first time, is after he strangles that guy and goes out the window, he opens the door.
He knows what's going to happen.
Because it was open before.
No, because that guy that he just killed is going to turn
to a walker,
and surprise them from the inside.
That was the walker.
Right.
That's
I
did not notice that.
And I'm glad with this scene, I think the writers of the show are finally realizing that in the zombie apocalypse, humans are scarier than walkers.
Yeah,
you get way more suspense, way more dynamic, dealing with other humans than you do just the zombies whose skulls smash like butter.
I certainly got that from the people encroaching on Rick's home, like these would-be rapists and murderers. We hadn't really had that sense of chaos come in because we have the walkers, but they're kind of dependable. And we've had people like the governor, but they're not, he's more of a maniacal megalomaniac than someone who's just going to come in and just wreck everything. You know what he's going to do, somewhat. Yeah. You can expect him.
Well, it was interesting that we had, so they met two new groups of survivors in a very short period of time, and you see that, like, I think unrealistically to some extent, half of them are good. Like, half of them want to go and save the world, and like, oh, like we have a doctor and we have a hot Latina chick, like, oh, it's the best of both worlds. But then the other group is, like, if there was a group you would not want to meet up with, it's the group that the first thing you hear them talking about is that someone's a coward, so they kill him. And then they strangle out the next guy. How did that group possibly last to this point? Unless they're bringing in new people and then killing them the next week. I don't know.
It's possible.
But they're a bunch of psychopaths. So anyway, I think it'll be interesting to see if they get caught up with, like if those people follow them in some way.
What I do like about this show in terms of exploring what happens to humans, like I find myself asking, like, what are we exploring now? Because the first two seasons felt more like an actual plot-driven television show, and now it's like steeped in allegory and thematic mumbo.
Some of us like
but
that.
And
I get it, and I like it. But what I do like is that now, like, I've seen Abraham and crew, and my first instinct is to distrust them. And because I've grown to distrust a lot of people.
Well, let's get to that point now. We have the advent of Professor Mullet knows the secret to stopping the plague. Do you believe what Abraham is saying? Because Tara kind of indicated to us maybe we shouldn't.
You know, he seems well, that's the thing, is part of me is saying, okay, this is exactly what I would say in order to get like my live meat back to my house, you know? If I'm like, come with me, we're gonna go save the world. We all need to stick together. We come back to the place where we're going because I've been running all these missions. Like that sounds like the perfect story. However, I kind of do trust Abraham for some reason. Maybe it's just because, I'm really caught in that kind of dialogue with yourself that everyone's having on the show, which is like, do I distrust them because people have proven me wrong time and time again? Or should I trust them because I'm a human and I should give people the benefit of the doubt?
The only thing I could see about the mission to go and fix everything, well, one, like I can't see how they could possibly fix it, but the only thing that you could distrust them on is maybe they need test subjects, and that's why they need to bring more humans along or something like that.
Or there's a slavery system of like making
maybe
crops work out.
Yeah, that could be the case. But again, so I liked that whole thing, because the two things that I really wanted out of the show was for them to join a group where they're not in charge, and for there to be some progress on curing the plague. And now we're getting both of those in different situations, so I'm very happy. Although even that scene, again, they had to do a couple of the things that don't make sense in the world, like that doctor having no knowledge of firearms whatsoever at this point, or them fist fighting, and he's yelling, "Hey, walkers!" and they, whatever, we'll get to it. Like, you have to be past that a year into the apocalypse.
Yeah, what episode wasn't that in, where someone is like kind of mired in their own BS and they forget that walkers exist, and then
they're in the middle of a cornfield.
It's just like, gosh, you have to be pretty clueless at this point.
Did you notice that when the doctor runs, he doesn't move his arms? I don't trust him.
I liked his dialogue. That was funny. The amped up state and then lack of knowledge about rapid fire weapons. That was cool. I liked it. Oh,
I think he knew exactly what he was doing disabling that truck. I think he shot it exactly where it needed to go. Yeah, I think that his plan is larger than Abraham knows.
Interesting. Okay, I hadn't considered that.
I don't know. I feel like
he's a shifty motherfucker.
The professor?
Yeah.
I think the professor, I think that's another story where it's like, here is my airtight case to get you to take me where I need to go, which is like, I can cure everyone.
Yeah. And he did say,
I was on the phone
trust
with
me,
Washington.
I'm smarter than you.
So weird.
That was
That's
kind of
true.
weird to me. Like, you just do what I say.
But so wait, maybe I was missing something, but I thought they were going to DC in the truck.
They were.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So that's what I'm saying, is like, I might not believe that he intentionally disabled it because his story is in service of him getting somewhere he needs to get.
As far as he's led us on now, and he's only gotten like 3 lines of dialogue.
Yeah.
So he tells us he's smarter than us.
I liked that line. I thought that was well done.
Yeah, so now we also have Rick and Michonne and Carl. They're going to the same place that Tyrese and them are. There were a couple of really fast. There were a couple of interesting little when they were talking about the soy milk. I liked that the little conversation they had there. Her doing the cheese thing. Like, we've wanted Michonne to open up and be like more human, but it's kind of weird when she is.
She's trying to communicate. She's way out of practice.
I would never eat that cheese like that. But
well,
anyway,
she's not you.
Yeah, no. So it's interesting that they're trying to have her actually be a character now, and it's weird. I don't know. I'm so used to her being stoic and martial, and that's it.
This wasn't as good as her scene where she had like the dream sequence. Her back and forth with Carl, I think.
Why did we have to get all that exposition again? Like, I get it, she's like sharing secrets with Carl, but like, we didn't need to hear all that again. We already know about her kid. And
well, then it has to be that it means something that she's revealing it to him at all. Yeah. And once again, I hate to pick on kids, but man, that scene when he's like a Judas formula. Like, come on, man. You can't ask him to do these acting things if he can't do them.
Right.
I couldn't. I'm also not an actor, so it works out in that way.
Yeah, I said that out loud. That was one of those where I'm saying it out loud to myself, like, this kid's terrible.
He was good overall, just not in that scene.
What did you think of that hidden room with the deceased family?
That exists in this world. I get that there has to be a mass suicide room where people are. I mean, that's it. Like, I haven't seen too much of that. I think that's got to be a,
We've seen a few people who've clearly shot themselves. Usually by themselves, I think, not a group.
Well, but it's like I think the mother had killed her children and then herself.
And then killed herself.
And then shot herself after they were asleep.
And obviously that's supposed to, like, the fact that she found it when that's what the guys she was with wanted to do and apparently did do. Like, if she had taken part in it, that's what her end would have been. Her and 3 other people all dead together. Right. And so maybe that's some form of closure, literally closing the door in that room.
For sure. I absolutely believe it. That's a good point. Good job.
Yeah.
No, No. Well, it's just another example of, I think we keep seeing like all innocence like sullied in this show.
Yeah.
And we get that sweet room, it's all pink, and the children are clutching their like comic books and teddy bears. But we see another reminder of what Michonne could have been. We saw that before with her doppelganger. Is this something we're going to keep seeing with her?
This is the one where I most said to myself, these people are all the Walking Dead.
I think, yeah, we say
Like
that
at the end, there's
episode.
those two sequences of people walking,
Yeah.
just aimlessly. What are we walking for? What are we seeking?
Although, again, they have more to look forward to than they have in a very long time. The prospect of curing it and the prospect of finding a truly safe place. Like, they finally have something to strive for. Neither of those are going to work out, obviously, but it's something, and that's what I've been looking forward to. So I'm, like, I like the first episode is okay, the second episode not so much. This one was one of the best ones they've had since the end of last season. So I'm actually feeling more invested in it than I have in a while.
Good.
Oh, good.
And
Lovely.
you're not a comic reader, right?
I have not yet. I do intend to read them at some point.
Comic readers are super excited about their destination that they're heading to down the tracks because it could mean a lot of very interesting things that they're familiar
Use
with.
it. Yeah. No, I do intend to read it. If anybody would like to send me a copy, feel free. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea of progressing. I was done with the prison. I understood everything about the prison. Now I just want them to find some place. Like I was tempted. I read like I went to the wiki. I sojourned
do
to the
Brett.
wiki, and I was like, this is
Spoiled
killing
it?
me. I spoiled a little bit. And predominantly, I looked to see how many paragraphs were left in the wiki. So I could see how much more I was in
There's a
for.
lot, right?
There's a lot. We're about halfway.
And also bear in mind, from what I've heard in some of the reviews I've read, they're not doing everything like
They're
in the
not.
book.
No.
So
I
some
saw-
characters
I
are combinations of other ones.
Like where in a paragraph where 90% of what happened in these last three episodes was contained in that paragraph. The other 10% was impossible because those people were either killed or don't exist
Interesting.
yet.
Okay. Anyway, so I'm excited. Let's spoil it. TLDR. I'm excited.
It is
TLDR,
TL.
John is
TL.
excited, so I guess we're going to see what happens next week in the next episode of The Walking Dead, Season 4, Episode 12. Until then, bye.